It's your open source advocate, and I'm back with another video. And today I wanted to talk about mail. And when we talk about building a business or building an MSP on open source, one of the things you have to have is a really solid way to communicate with people. Now, in the past, I've talked about setting up a mail-in-a-box server. That is still a completely valid way to go about doing things, and I really like it. But if you're just opening up an account on a VPS provider like Linode, DigitalOcean, Volta, or Hertzner, or whoever, one, they're going to block you from sending email for at least 60 days. You'll probably have to ask to have those ports unblocked for your account after 60 days. Most of their public IP addresses are on block lists at this point, so it's really, really hard to find an address that's not on a block list. And this causes problems with delivery. It causes a lot of problems, so you don't want that when you're talking about your business needing to be able to send email. I've been looking around for different solutions to that. You know, there's Zoho Mail, there's Gmail with your, whatever it is, business account kind of stuff. I'll be honest, Gmail is not the route I would go. I'm going to recommend to everybody right now, if you want to save yourself headaches and pain, stay away from Gmail, just because setting up SMTP with Gmail is a pain. It just gives so many problems that you're just going to deal with issues a lot. What you need is somebody who does IMAP, SMTP, POP, regular email services essentially. And I was just kind of looking and checking and searching and trying to find something I liked, and I came across Purely Mail. Now it says beta. I want you guys to keep in mind, Gmail was in beta for like 15 years, okay? So when people put beta on here, it's just kind of a thing to say like, look, we're still working through this. Everything I've seen from people says it's a solid service. I thought, I'm going to try this out because I've got my own domain. Running an email server isn't that hard. A lot of people say, oh, don't run your own email server, it's a pain. Honestly, with Mail-in-a-Box, I got in on DigitalOcean when it was still pretty new, so it was a little bit easier to get an email server up and running. You didn't have things blocked. You didn't have all these other problems that you have today. And running Mail-in-a-Box is really not that hard, but I do have my server on a single block list, and it's always been on there, and I don't know how to get it off of there. So it does create issues sometimes with people receiving my email initially. That's not a good thing. So I wanted to find something where I could feel much more confident in people receiving my emails, people being able to send me email and me receiving those emails. That said, if you want to run Mail-in-a-Box from your home server, you can do that. You need to have a static IP address. It's very important when you're trying to send email. You have to have a public static IP address that is not on a block list already. Again, deliverability with email is the key, and if you can't get your emails delivered outside of spam boxes, it makes it really hard for you to do business. Now, I'm going to sign up for Purely Mail. You are free to go with Zoho or any of the other thousands of places that go, but I want you to look at this. So you go in and you set it up. Now, you're going to set up, he's showing you Proton Mail, $48 a year. Fast Mail, $60 a year. Google Workspace, $72 a year. Zoho is $12 a year. Whatever this, Hush Mail, $49 a year. Purely Mail is $10 a year. Now, the thing he doesn't put here is that these are per year, per user. Purely Mail is $10 a year, period. Now, he says, what happens, he's got a little FAQ, and it's like, what's the catch? I mean, really, there's not a lot of a catch. They tell you, look, occasionally we'll get put on a block list. It takes us a day or two to get back off the block list. They don't have 24/7 support staff, so you're going to put in a support ticket. Everybody I've seen says that their support is like A+++. So take from that what you want, but I think that's awesome. I mean, it's a small operation starting out, but they say they're in beta, like I said. Is this for me? It's kind of up to you, but I think it's a great way to go, so that's what we're going to do today. I wanted to walk you through setting it up. So we're going to go in here. Now, if you want to, by the way, he's got a free trial, so you can sign up for a free trial. If you like it, stick with it. I don't get anything out of this. I don't even have an affiliate link, nothing. If you stick with it, it'll be 10 bucks a year. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and all of my patrons over at Patreon. Seriously, you guys make this so worth it for me to do these videos every week. I really, truly enjoy it, and I just can't say thank you enough. If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe. Let YouTube know that I'm doing a good job by subscribing to the channel. Plus, you'll get notified when I have new videos coming out. And finally, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, give it a like. Just click on that thumbs up, and that way YouTube knows that you like it, and they'll pass it along to other people that might enjoy my content as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you again. Let's get started. And then if you want to sign up, again, it's super easy. So one, we just pick a name. So I'm going to say Brian. And it's going to tell you this username is available at this thing. So you'll type in whatever name you want. If your name's not available, you might try, 21, right? Something like that. Now it's going to tell you, because I try to do like Brian.sys, and it's going to tell you, hey, you can't use a dot. Okay? I try to do underscore. You can't use underscore. Dash. You can't use a dash. So be ready, because it's going to tell you you can't do these things for this setup. But here he's got a few kind of preset domains. Just pick one of the preset domains. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It's fine. You can use email. You can pick any one of these you want. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It's just a way to get your account set up. You go down here, you put in your password that you want, a nice strong password, and he tells you like how long it would take to crack a password. So if we type in password, he's going to tell you that'll take 1 millisecond. It's a super crappy password. Don't use it. But if we type in something else, like I just mix a bunch of letters and numbers, you can see how long it goes up here. This is 292,277 millennia. That millennia itself is 1,000 years. So that's 000 on the end of this, okay? So that's a long time. That'd be a good password. If you can remember what you type it again to confirm it. You come on down here. You're going to give them an email so that, an email you already have, so that if you get locked out for some reason, you can have it reset. And then just give it a description so you know what email you're referring to. If you want to, you can give them a phone number for a text message. Same thing, give it a description. Agree to the terms of service. Agree that you understand they're in beta. And then you can go down to payment, or you can do the trial, whichever one you want. Again, $10 for a year. That's less than $1 a month, US dollar a month. I would hope that most people could say, you know what, I can put out less than $1 a month to get started with my business that I'm trying to get going. There's little things that add up, but $10 a year, I'm willing to go for it. Once you do that, you're going to be taken to the sign-in page. So I'm going to go sign into my account here. All right, I signed in. You get to this page and it shows you something very simple. Now I want to go set up a domain. So I've already set up my sysmainit.com domain because I was going through this to practice it. But if I want to add a new domain, I just click Add New Domain. I'm going to type in whatever it is, so that the name of this domain. So if you remember from my Building a Business Open Source, I did get the itpros.org. So let's just set it up for email, just for testing. I will turn this over to somebody one of these days. But yeah, so let's just go set it up. So let's go back up and let's just do the itpros.org. We're going to check it. Now it'll eventually give me a bunch of messages down here because I don't have the itpros.org set up, but DNS records not yet verified. Now I've set up the itpros.org before with mail in a box, so we'll have to go change some things, but I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to say purely mail is fine and have that checked. We're going to scroll past all these things, and this says empty. So I'll show you what you have to do. If you can't leave it empty for your particular DNS provider, for your registrar, we're going to create an MX record, and we're just going to copy this, including the little period at the end right here. We're going to copy that. I'll make this a little bigger on the screen too, so you can see it on your mobile devices there. And we're going to go over to the itpros.org. We're going to go to DNS, and you'll see I have a few records here. So I'm going to go delete this record. Yes. And I'll delete this record for mail. Yes. We're going to say add a new record. So we're going to pick MX. And on the host, it's going to say he wants it empty. You can't leave it empty for me on hover. So if you run to the same thing, you want to put the @ symbol. Here we're going to put a priority of 10. That's fine. And then we're going to paste in what we just copied out of that site. And we can set this to 5 minutes. We're going to hit save. And you can see here, it's already working. So it's going, okay? Now I'm going to go here, and the next thing I need to do is create an SPF record, and it's a text. It's type text. So if you're looking for SPF in your type dropdown, you're not going to find it. It's type text. We're going to copy this, and again, it says empty, so we're going to do the same little trick. We're going to do create. We're going to hit this little drop down, text. Your form may look different, but it should be similar. You pick the type, you fill in the fields. Again, we're going to hit @ If you can leave it empty, that's okay. But we're going to hit paste. We're going to paste in all that text, make sure it's right. And again, we're going to go to 5 minutes and hit go. And now we've got our MX record and our TXT records. Now we've got another TXT record we need to create right here. So we're going to highlight all of this. There we go. We're going to copy it. We're going to go back here again and create another record. We're just going to create another TXT record. Again, it said empty, so we're going to put @ We're going to paste, double check, make sure we got everything. Yes, okay. And hit save. So all we're doing is just adding these records that they're providing to us. Now we've got to do some DKIM records, and he tells you what these are. He says they're optional, but recommended. They fight spam and improve email deliverability. You'll need to add 3 similar records. Each is a CNAME record. So that's the type we're looking for. It's not going to be called DKIM. That's the record sort we're going to use, but it's a CNAME record is what we need to set up. It says which essentially points to another record that we manage for you. So that's great. So here's one. CNAME, CNAME, and CNAME. So we need all 3 of these. Here's the host we're going to put in for each one. And then here's the value that we'll put in. And I think it's called something different. And he tells you here, it might be called target host name, it might call, something like that. He's just telling you like, hey, for this field, watch out, it may be called this, that's what you want to put there. So he's got some really good instructions. So we're first going to copy this, and we're going to go back. We're going to just add a CNAME record right here. We're going to paste that into the host, and then we're going to go back and copy this part and paste that into our target name. And then again, we're going to go to 5 minutes, and we're just going to hit go. We're going to go back and do that 2 more times. Copy, add, CNAME, paste, copy, paste, 5 minutes. Now, if your registrar doesn't offer 5 minutes, do not sweat that. Do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever they offer, just use it. It's okay. I'm just doing 5 because they offer it. Copy, and then we're just going to go back here and add another CNAME record, 3rd one, and then I'm going to go over here and copy this value, and I'm going to go here and paste it, and then here we're just going to go and do 5 minutes and hit OK. So we've added our 3 CNAME records. Now we're down to the DMARC section. So again, he tells you a DMARC record is optional but recommended. It makes DKIM and SPF more effective and allows us to notify you if your domain is the target of large spoofing efforts. This is another security thing. It's a really good thing, so go make it. It's another CNAME record. We're just going to copy that host. We're going to add another CNAME record. So we're just going to go to CNAME, DMARC, and then we're going to go here and copy this and paste. And again, we're going to go to time to live here and 5 minutes. And add it. Okay, it's as simple as just going through this and following the directions. Now he says allow account reset. He tells you what that means if you've allowed it. Deliver mail to, he's telling you purely mail means that they're going to manage everything for you. If your mail exchange is a different mail service, set it to external server, and then use this. If you're only going to use purely mail to send messages, so you're only going to use purely mail for SMTP, you would set it to external. So you've got those different instructions. We've done what he said. Now it takes 5 minutes. So you can see here it didn't match any of the stuff. We can go click this, but if it hasn't updated our records, it's going to fail. But we just need to keep clicking this check. It's going to go out and check, and eventually it's going to be like, oh, hey, we see it, and we can actually reach it. You've done what you're supposed to do. Everything looks good. So be patient while it checks, and then it'll come back. And once you've got everything clear, you want to save those settings. All right, I got that fixed. I had a little problem. It was nothing that you should run into, but because I had set up the itpros.org previously for Mail-in-a-Box, I had Mail-in-a-Box acting as the name server. If you do decide that you want to change from Mail-in-a-Box to something like Purely Mail or any other service, just know that you need to go to wherever you set that up as the name server. So here in Hover, it's an overview. And down here on name servers, you can see I just had to change this back to ns1.hover.com and ns2.hover.com. I had these set pointing to my mail-in-a-box server for the itpros.org so that it would resolve using that. You got to change that back, or this is never going to figure out what's going on. But once you do, you can see now that it says the MX records found, the SPF records found, DKIM, everything's good, and then it checks this little box. So we're good. We're going to click save, so we can save that stuff. Oh, we got to go back in, and we have the itpros.org right there. Let's just make sure everything's good. Everything's checked, so that's good. So we're set. Everything is really ready to go from that perspective. Now, I wanted to go through that process just to help you see what you had to do, that it's not super complicated. You just follow their instructions. Now, it's going to be a little different for every registrar. So I'm using Hover. The way it's going to look for you, if you're using GoDaddy or if you're using Gandhi.net, or if, you know, whoever you're using, it's going to look a little different. So just be aware of that, but work through their process and you'll get to that point where you'll get these check marks as well. Now, once you've done that, you want to go to the users section and you can create other users. So I'm going to say create a new user, and I want to have Brian, and I want it to be at sysmainit.com. In this case, I'm going to create a nice strong password here. And again, it'll tell you how long it would take somebody to crack that. So 3 millennia, 3,000 years. That's with the current computing power. In 2 years, that's going to be not as long. But understand that you got to make something that's good and strong and something that somebody hopefully can't guess or crack. Never use the same password, you know, for another site, for another email or anything like that. So make sure you're using something like Bitwarden generally to create that password. And I could just go do that as well. I could go here and I could just say, let's add email. So I can search it that way, and I'll put Brian at sysmainit.com. And I'll just let Bitwarden generate a nice strong password for me. Now, of course, I know you guys can see this, so I'll generate another one here in a minute and I'll hide it. But you understand how this works. I'll copy that, I'll paste it in here. So I'm going to blank out, just going to cut this part out. I'm going to create another password and I'm going to paste it in, and then we'll move forward. All right, I created my new password that's a lot stronger, so it's, you know, a lot. It's again, 3 billion millennia, or 3 billion years that it would take for the current computing power to crack that, so that's awesome. Enable search indexing. Yeah, why not? We want that enabled. And password reset. So we do want to allow password reset, so add a reset method. So if I needed to reset my password, I could. So you have different methods here, so you can see the type and this. So this is kind of a weird layout, like I said, but if you click that, it'll expand this. And you can say, how do I want to be able to reset this? I would give it an email address, and I could do this, and then allow 2FA reset, description, and this is a fix it email, something like that. And then there's a cancel option if you don't want to do that. Documentation, so search indexing, they just tell you what this is. Password reset, what is it? How does it work? Can password reset 2FA? So again, he's giving you some nice, simple answers about things. So it's really kind of nice. I like this. Why not SMS codes? So again, he's giving you some really great info, but that's all it is all the way down to the bottom. Once we're done, we're just going to say save. All right, so we've got some users. So you can see I've got my original user that I set up with rethinkmail.com, but this is the user where I want to get email. So if I click into here, it's going to say, here's my settings, so I can change my password if I need to. I can go do some things. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This is the same stuff we just set. Now I could say require two-factor authentication for my email. I like that. That's a nice security add-on. And then you can set up your TOTP app. You can add a security key, whatever you want to do. App passwords, if you need to add app passwords, you can do that. Backup codes, you can get those as well. Trusted devices. So there's no devices yet, but you can set up trusted devices. Yeah, and then he's got all the same information. So once you've done that, then you can save those changes again, and you've just increased the security on your email account, which is pretty great. So yeah, so you can just come back and add more users. So I'm going to say leave the page because I haven't made any changes to it yet. I can say create a new user. So for every domain that I'm setting up, I can create more users. I mean, this is pretty awesome. So if I need, you know, a user at sysmainit.com that is support for the support system that we're going to set up in the future, I can set that up here, give it a password. I can set up an application password that's different from the password to actually check the email, which is kind of nice. So really kind of a cool setup with Purely Mail. I am Again, not affiliated with Purely Mail. I have never talked to the people who run Purely Mail. I am just telling you about the route that I'm going to take to set up my email, because I think this is a really good route for us going forward as a business where email is going to be a pretty primary part of our communication strategy for a lot of the different things that we're going to be setting up. We'll set up other communication strategies as well, but I wanted to kind of talk about this one so that you guys knew, like, hey, this is something we want to set up and something we want to do. So with like Authentic, where I'm setting up this email now, I can actually go and check that email, and I can use Authentic as my IDP, and I can use that email as part of that process. So I wanted you guys to kind of understand that. So if you want to add more users, add more users. You've got domains, you've got routing. I'm going to again leave, I didn't do anything here. You've got routing, so you can set up some different routing kind of things. You know, not a lot that we have to do there right now, but you've got some tools. So they've got the mail import export tool, and they've got the CalDAV calendar creator tool. So we've also got webmail. So we can go over here and I can log in, and I'm going to log in with the account that I just created. So let's log in. And I'm actually, let's see, welcome to Purely Mail. So this is just using, Roundcube, is that what it's called? I can't remember, but pretty nice email system here. Pretty nice webmail system. If you've never used it before, it's actually pretty great. Took a few minutes, but I did get the original email, and then I quickly sent one from my Fix It Del Rio email to the Sysmain IT email and got it, and I replied. So you can see that the reply just came in. So everything is up and functioning. That's awesome. I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, I just went ahead and paid $10. I mean, for me, if I have problems, I expect that he's going to keep fixing this system. I think he wants this to work, and I think it's awesome. So I'm really excited about it. I wanted to share this with all of you. I hope that you'll get out there and set up something. Now, if you want to use some other business solution for your email, that's awesome. If you want something with documents and calendars and I don't know what all, then there's a lot of different solutions out there. Personally, I'm just going to stick with this because it is purely about email for me right now. I think all the other solutions I'm going to look for are going to be the open source solutions. I just wanted an email system that I knew I could depend on to get my emails to where they're going, and this looks like it's going to be the thing that I need. So real quick on the dashboard here, if you go to billing, under balance, it'll show you that you can add credit if you want to. You don't have to once you've paid the $10 you're set for the year, really. He shows you some different things where you can update your credit card, do whatever you need to do. You know, here's your billing email. He's using the one that's internal, of course. The billing mode is basically just automatically, you know, do it simple. There is an advanced billing. That's if you need to send a ton of emails. And I mean, like, if you're going to be somebody who's basically sending out a bunch of marketing and mass emails all the time, you're going to want to look at his advanced billing, and he'll let you know if you're going beyond the $10, I promise you. But yeah, yearly automatic charge limit. So he's just telling you, like right here, your yearly automatic charge limit is $11. So total automatic charges in the past 365 days is 0. I just started it today. So and then he tells me 73 kilobytes of compressed email storage and 90 kilobytes if it's uncompressed, and then it's 60 kilobytes for this one, and then yeah, I've got 12.7 kilobytes because he sends like a welcome email to this address initially too. And then it shows you down here under your usage reports, you've got the simple plan, so that's what I'm on. Charge total, nothing. Total under advanced pricing would be nothing. Advanced pricing line items were email received 6, so gigabytes 0. I mean, so most of this is really low because I've just started, but it's something that's useful and something that I'd love to be able to access as I go forward trying to build this out, to kind of see, like, am I getting to the point where I actually do need to go to an advanced pricing or look at a different solution at some point, something like that. But really great. I think this was super easy to set up. It's a very fast setup once you kind of know what you're doing, and getting everything up and running was really easy. So again, I highly recommend, as you're waiting for the next video to come out, you guys go out and get this set up, and I'll go out and I'll make a video. Maybe we'll change our authentic user. I hope you're going through the authentic videos that are out there from other people, but especially Cooptonian. He has some incredibly good authentic videos. It'll help you get set up with multi-factor authentication and all kinds of different ways you can authenticate, and some really great stuff. I've been kind of cleaning that stuff up on my side for my setup that I'm using, and I hope you guys will too. The next video I do for this series, not the next video, but the next video I do for this series is going to be about a ticketing and knowledge-based system, and I know a ton of you guys have asked about that. I'm excited about it, and we're going to set it up with Authentic so we have single sign-on, so it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like, subscribe, tell your friends about it so they can come along on the open source journey with us, and I'll talk to you next time.